Well, here's the story, because the Ducks are drafting number 2 in the draft. The hockey fans out there, they're going to get the chance to get one of the top young forwards, either from the collegiate ranks or from Europe. And what I confirmed, and I was not aware of this, because the rules as to how the Gulls get access to players, the rules have changed. The 2 players that the Ducks are looking at, Adam Fantilli, brilliant young, big freshman, center iceman, University of Michigan, scored 30 goals this past year as a freshman, as an 18-year-old. He is one. He'll be on the board at the second pick when the Ducks choose. Or 6'3" winger Leo Carlson, who plays in Sweden. I think he scored 16 goals, which is pretty significant for an 18-year-old. I tried to confirm, and I finally got confirmation last night that if either one of these guys gets drafted, signs with the Ducks, goes to training camp in Anaheim, if they don't make the major league roster at age 19, they can come and play here. Now, if you're a Canadian junior player, where the bulk of the other kids come from, you have to go back to the junior club if you don't make the big team. So they don't come here until they turn 20. Then they can come to play in the American Hockey League. So this is unique. If either one of these kids, if it's not Fantilli, if it's not Carlson, either one of these kids don't make it up there, they could be assigned to come here and begin their pro careers. And you take that number 1 pick, which is really high, and you add it. They've got 5 defensemen coming in who are now age 20 or are Europeans at age 19 that can come to San Diego. I think are going to start the season in San Diego. I just think the potential of what the Gulls could be is going to be spectacular. And when I cover the press conferences, both with the Ducks' new head coach, Greg Cronin, and obviously Matt McIlvain, the Gulls' new coach, I was so impressed. And I wrote a column, and I think I've said it to you. I think the losing has ended in Anaheim, and the losing, it was a really bad season last year here with the Gulls. Losing has ended in San Diego. This is fascinating news, the fact that whoever that number 1 pick is going to come here or could come here.
That's exciting for San Diego hockey fans and for Ducks fans too, especially if they make the big time roster. But Lee, let me ask you, if you look at some of the all-time greats in hockey, did they break into the NHL when they were teenagers? Guys like Gretzky?
Oh, Gretzky did, because Gretzky cut his teeth in the World Hockey Association as an 18-year-old. See, the NHL had old rules that you could not come unless you were 20 or 21. Well, the World Hockey Association came into existence, and that's how they laid their foundation. They went after NHL goaltenders, and they signed a bunch of them, and they went out and they signed all these 18 and 19-year-old kids. Gretzky, Mark Messier, all the guys that wound up going to Edmonton that made the Oilers so tremendous. So that's how the World Hockey Association announced its presence, by signing these guys to contracts that the NHL would not allow their teams to negotiate on. So now the rules have evolved, and there's been a big discussion of late. Should we put the draft age back to 20? Because is it really right to have an 18 and 19-year-old who's not ready to go play? And do you want to strip the junior teams of all their stars? Because that's a business too. I mean, you're in Kingston, Ontario, and that franchise is the team in that community. And all these other places across the Ontario Hockey League, the Quebec League, and the Western Hockey League. So the NHL keeps going back and forth. What should the draft age be? Should we have an exception rule where you can draft an 18-year-old and send them to the minors? Or do we keep it intact so we keep the junior teams, the Quebec Remparts, et cetera, really viable by sending their superstar back at age 18 and 19 to play one more year in junior? So the rules have changed. They continue to negotiate that. Okay, from hockey